evening, everyone. Let's see. Good evening, everyone. I'm just waiting for everyone to tune in. Hi, Taiwo. You're the first in the house. Hello, hello. Oh, wow. Some people have joined you. Hi, let me know where you're tuning in from. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. If this is your first time with me live, my name is Tolu. I'm your friendly Christian relationship counselor. Hi, Taiwo. Introduce yourselves in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Stella. How are you? Hi, Raliat. I'm seeing some familiar names. Hey, Quincy. Hair. Hey, hey. Oh, I love that. That's very personal. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I am tuning in from Lagos. This is going to be a quick live, as quick as possible. Oh, Australia, welcome. I'm so glad that you joined us here. Okay, I tend to get distracted by comments, so don't mind me. I'm just talking for a bit because I just want more people to join, and then we will get started. Now I'm going to be on here for a bit, and then I'm going to join my sister Deborah. Check out my stories. I'm going to join her and her own amazing community in a bit. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to share with you guys what has really been on my heart. Okay, so we have London in the house, we have New York in the house. Welcome. So we're going continental now. So I just wanted to share what was really on my heart. I wanted to start this segment called The Truth with Tolu. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you will see it's in my highlights. I share little pieces and bits of stories on my Instagram stories, just sharing my heart, pouring out my thoughts. And I just wanted to go live and talk about this issue of relationships that always end in heartbreak, always end in a cycle of regret. Okay, now if you don't know me, again, I'm a Christian relationship counselor. I basically help you pick a godly partner for marriage. I have counseled countless women into stepping out of toxic relationships. I've helped women discover their own unique source in the dating scene so that they enter relationships that are purposeful, that are productive. And I also make sure that you manifest God's will for you in your singleness and as you wait, so that you marry purposefully. Some of my clients are married. A lot of my clients are doing well. And yeah, I've done this for over 5 years. So that's what I do in a nutshell. I'm also a mentor in the Wife in Waiting community. I'm the founder of the Wife in Waiting community. I'm going to wait for my sisters to come in here. Some Wife in Waiting sisters should be joining us in a bit. So what that community aims at doing is to make sure that women are wholly prepared for marriage, apart from the whole title of wife. We prepare women to step into their role fully as woman, while you're waiting. And even when you step into your season of marriage, some of our sisters, as we call ourselves, have gotten married, have gotten engaged while on the group. We meet every single day, and the Wife in Waiting Sisterhood is opening again for members to join us. Would I say in a week? So you will see, and I strongly encourage you to join if you're looking for a group of sisters to keep you accountable. If you're looking for a group of sisters that will love on you, that will tell you the truth. Wife in Waiting is a sisterhood you want to be a part of. It's what I wish I had when I started out this journey, which is why I created the community. Now, another thing I wanted to quickly mention to you all is we have a sale going on, the Prayers for My Husband to Be journals. Now, these are journals that God really ministered to my heart to start showing women how to pray for their future husbands, because there's a whole lot of revelation that comes through that process. So whenever he lays it on my spirit, I pour out prayers in journals. So right now we are up to volume 4. Everything is 10% off. It's $8. On a normal day, it's $10. It's really accessible. So everything is on sale up until tomorrow. After tomorrow, it is no longer on sale, and it goes back to the full value of $10. If you don't have a Prayers for My Husband to Be journal, I strongly encourage you to get one. Okay, I strongly encourage you to get one. These prayers are very helpful. They help you to connect with your husband's spirit, to know very quickly when a guy is right for you and when he's wrong for you. Okay, so those are just a couple of things I wanted to mention before we get started. Now, today, I wanted to talk about why all your relationships always end in heartbreak and regret every single time. Because I'm just going to be very transparent here. I receive a lot of messages on a daily basis, dealing with issues of how do I get him to take care of me? How do I get him to appreciate me? How do I get him to love on me? How do I stop him from cheating? How do I get him to take me more seriously? I get so many messages every single day about this. And the whole point of this live is I'm just going to be real. Now, if you've worked with me in counseling, if you're in the wife in waiting sisterhood, you know that's my method, that's my truth. That's why I tagged this live, The Truth with Tolu. I can see a question. Yes, the prayer journals are e-journals. That is, immediately you just click the link in bio. You will get click the link in bio. You will there are 4 volumes of these journals. Every single link is in the Instagram link in my bio. That's Fan the Flame. Go to the link in bio, click there, get one of the journals. It is immediately sent to your inbox. It's immediately downloadable after purchase. If you need some help, send me a DM. After this live, I will attend to that. So yes, they're available to wherever you are in the world. You have access to those journals once you purchase your copy, right? So I just see messages like this all the time. How do I get him to take me more seriously? How do I get him to invest in our relationship? And the truth is, and I'm going to be very real with you, the truth is you need to change. You need to change to see a change in your relationships, okay? Now, this is something I do with ladies in counseling, and it's part of the mentoring I offer in Wife in Waiting, but I want you to understand a couple of truths about why all your relationships, all of them, always end in heartbreak and regret. Even if you've just been in one, even if it's been a situationship, any relation you've had with men, why it always ends in heartbreak and regret is because of these truths I'm about to share with you. The first one is you need to love yourself first. A lot of women don't know how to love themselves. If you love yourself, you will not put up with the disrespect. If you love yourself, you will not put up with the constant cheating, the constant being lied to, the constant being taken for granted. If you love yourself, you will not put up with being overly accessible to these men, to be able to use and abuse you how they please, and then you are always available after they've disrespected you, they've disrespected your family, they've disrespected everybody around you, and you are still there saying, how do I make him love me? That's not love. That's not love at all. That's abuse. That's abuse. That's disrespect. That's being taken for granted. That's being not appreciated. But it's definitely not love. And the reason you don't understand this is because you don't know how to love yourself first. You're afraid of yourself. You're afraid of being in a space where you are forced to face yourself. And you have to come to that place to be able to understand how you can value yourself in a way that will show the man that comes into your life that you are worth valuing. If you do not know how to love yourself, he will not know how to love you. No man can bear that responsibility. It's not his responsibility to show you how to love yourself. It's not his responsibility to make you feel better about who you are as a person. It's his role to complement who you are, and if who you are is toxic, he's going to complement that toxicity. If who you are is unsure, if who you are is insecure, he's going to complement that insecurity. Any man you put in that situation is just going to complement what you are already bringing to the table. And this is why in the biggest mistakes you've made with men, I also, which is going to be released to the ladies that purchased that masterclass I have, I spend a whole section talking about leading with your value, because a lot of women don't know how to love themselves. I see messages like this all the time. You know, I see messages that say, oh, how do I get him to change his mind about me? Why do you need him to change his mind about you? Why can't you change your mind about yourself? Why can't you decide that this is the last time This is the last time that any man is going to make me feel worthy of, he's going to make me feel like I lack respect. This is the last time any man is going to make me feel like any woman can take my role in this life. Forget the fact that, and you see situations where you're fighting with a side chick, you fight with another side chick, you're fighting with a baby mama. Why are you putting yourself through all that stress? For what? Why are you putting yourself through all that heartache? Why are you putting yourself through all that pain? Because you want him to love you? You don't love yourself. If you loved yourself enough, you would understand that that is not love. That is not affection. That is not confirmation in any sense of the word. It's not confirmation, because sometimes you hear, oh, maybe if I get him to go to church more, he would respect me. No, he won't. He's not going to respect you. He's going to abuse you. He's going to take you for granted. I'm just going to tell you the truth, because all this is just, I'm just pouring out my heart here, because I see this all the time. I see this so many times, and I'm tired of seeing women put themselves down. I'm tired of seeing women take themselves for granted just because you don't know how to respect yourself. So my advice to you in this situation, get yourself into an accountability circle, into a group, into a sisterhood that will bring you up, that will cause you to rise up, that will force you to see the light that you carry. That's what we do in Wife in Waiting. Every sister in that community knows this. We love you, we love on you with truth, but we tell you the truth. There's no sugar coating, but it's given to you with truth. Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27:17. And that's what, as a woman, you need to understand about yourself. You first need to accept that you are deserving of love before you can know how to give love to someone else. If not, guess what's going to happen? Even if a good man comes into your life, you are going to ruin it. You are going to ruin it. Guess why? Because you don't know what it means to have something good. You don't know what it means to have something valuable. You don't know what it means to carry value. So no matter if he is the best man for you, and for some of you, this is the reason why God has not brought your husband into your life. This is the reason why you may have even met your husband, but God has not opened his eyes to you yet. Because you need to come to that self-awareness. If you look in scripture, every woman that met her husband was standing in some level of truth. But a lot of you are not standing, you are kneeling, you are crawling, you are begging. And so it's very difficult for you to stand in your truth, to be able to know that I am deserving of this because I am worth it. A lot of you struggle with that truth, and that's why you find it hard for him to treat you with respect. That's why it's hard for him to love on you. That's why it's hard for him to appreciate you, because you haven't shown him what it means to be appreciated, how it looks like for you to be valued. And you can only do that by doing that for yourself. You can only do that by putting your value on the table and leading with your value. When he tries it, you let him know, I'm not reinforcing any aggressive feminine energy here, okay? What I am reinforcing is the fact that you need to step into your womanhood. You need to step into the trueness of who you are, the value that you truly carry. You need to lead with that. There's a confidence that comes with that. There's a power that comes with knowing what you should take and what you should leave on the table, right? And the value in knowing that is, it will save you so much time. I do this in counseling. It's a whole process where we dissect, okay, you want to get married, why do you want to get married, who do you want to get married to, what's the reason behind your desire for marriage. It's a whole process of unloading, because a lot of you are coming from, a lot of women, right? And the reason I can talk about this is because I've been there, so I recognize this. A lot of women are coming from a space of hurt. A lot of women are coming from a space of abuse. A lot of women are coming from a space of not feeling enough. And you carry that with you, not only with the opposite sex, but even in your workplace, any task you're given, with your relationships with friends, you will see that the pattern of toxicity you're experiencing It's not just with men. You will notice it's with your friendships. You will notice it's at work. It's the way people treat you. It's the way you respond to how people view you. So a lot of this is tied to your general lifestyle. It's not just the man. The man is just, maybe it's the most obvious expression for you because you've reached the stage in your life where you desire partnership as one of your topmost priorities. So that's why it's glaringly obvious in that area. But it's also in other areas. If you look around you, you will see that you also have difficulty accepting love from friends, sometimes even from family members, from your colleagues at work, from fellow students in school, whatever stage you are in life. You will notice there's this pattern. There's this pattern of how people treat you and how you respond to being treated, and you need to switch that. The only common denominator in that situation is you. That's why there's always regrets, there's always resentment, there's always heartbreak, because it's like one step, two step, one step, two step. It's like this is what you constantly do to yourself. This is how you constantly expose yourself to heartache, to pain, and this is why your relationships always end in heartbreak, because your heart hasn't been fully made whole yet. So you are giving it to that man in pieces, and you are accepting it in pieces back, because that is what you see as a true expression of what love is. That is what you understand love to be, because that's what you have accepted. And you need to change the standard at which you accept love. You need to change the standard at which you accept being chosen. Because for you, for instance, it may be enough for him to just say, I like you. It may be enough for him to call you once every 2 weeks or 2 days. It may be enough for him to cheat on you, but then still come back to you. But that is exactly the pattern that needs to change for you to stop feeling regret, for you to stop feeling heartbroken. That is what needs to leave. That is the common denominator in the equation that needs to get out of that situation for you to be able to have a different experience, a different lifestyle, a different approach to the men that come into your life. Because if not, guess what? It's going to keep happening. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. This is, like I said, I just have a lot on my heart, and I said it's going to be a heart to heart. I'm going to tell you the truth. You need to shift. And if you need help to do that, you need to ask for that help. Because we all need help. We all need assistance. We all need support. You are not helping anybody, least of all yourself, by standing in isolation saying, I'm going to change. How would you change if you don't know what you're supposed to change into? How would you change if you don't know where you're getting it wrong? How would you change if you don't know what you're doing wrong? Why you keep attracting those men into your life? Why you keep attracting abuse? Why you keep attracting resentment? How would you change if you are not able to step into the realization that I need help? I need assistance. I need someone that is already where I want to go. They don't need to be all the way there, because we're all on this journey. We're all on this journey of life. We're all learning every day. But there's a power that comes with accepting that I need assistance. The word even says, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Because there is power in weakness. And there's this rhetoric in society where, oh, I'm a strong woman. I'm a powerful woman. I don't need help. I can do it all myself. No, you can't. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to just accept the fact that I need assistance, I need support, I need a community. I need people that have gone where I'm going. I need people that can see what I am not seeing. I need people I can trust. I need people that I can lean on. I need people that can hold my hand. I need people that can tell me the truth. Because that is when you will see a change. If not, you will keep experiencing a pattern of regret. That's why some sisters, you step into marriages that you are not happy. Some sisters, you step into relationships where he has proposed. You said yes, but your heart is saying no. Some sisters, you've stepped into, you're 9 years, 10 years into relationships, and you can't see an exit because you are refusing to accept you need help. You are refusing to accept that you are getting it all the way wrong. You are afraid to accept that you truly do not know how to love yourself. You truly do not know what it means to step into your truth because you're so afraid of it. You've told yourself a lie for so long. You are afraid to face the fact that this is not who I am. This is not what I want. This is not who I want. And this is not only if a man is, aggressive or abusive. He could be the sweetest, kindest man. But you are just not feeling him. You are just not interested. but because you're afraid. You're afraid to admit that this is not what I want. This is not who I want. I'm actually not that attracted to him. I actually don't want to have kids with him. I actually don't want to settle down with him. Because you're afraid to admit that to yourself, you keep telling yourself this lie. Inside, you are breaking. You are dealing with regrets. When everybody is telling you, congratulations, you're getting married. Congratulations, you're engaged. Congratulations on your second baby. You're outside lusting after another man. You're outside lusting after the last relationship that you were in that ended in heartbreak. You start looking at your past because you're afraid to look at your present and you don't like what you see in the future. That's what's going on. Because you are refusing to accept the fact that I need to step out of this. I need to learn how to love myself. That's why you keep repeating heartbreak after heartbreak. That's why you keep experiencing regrets. And another reason why all your relationships end in heartbreak and regret without fault, like that's their default setting. Another reason why that keeps happening is because you won't accept the fact that he's not going to change. He's not going to change. What you see is what you get. And in biggest mistakes to make with men, I actually spent a whole section on this. I spent a whole section talking about how you look at a man's progress instead of you look at his potential instead of his progress. And I break it down. What's the difference between progress and potential? Why it's so important to be able to distinguish between the two. Because a lot of women are in that space where they are desperate for potential. You are told, just take what you can see. Let me tell you, the world has told you a lot of lies about relationships. The world has said a lot of lies about relationships. Anything that the world has told you is a lie. If it's not supported in the word of God, it is a lie. You need to choose your source. Like I was saying, I did a podcast with Dami earlier in the year. We did a podcast earlier in the year, and we're talking about this, and I just really understood that a lot of women don't get this. You don't get this because you won't accept the fact that, guess what, you've been told a lie. All those reality TV shows, all those love, whatever source you're looking at, like relationship goals, hashtag this, hashtag that, it's a lie. That's not the reality of that situation. They may very well have a healthy, happy relationship, but you don't know the cost. You don't know the arguments. You don't know the sacrifice. There's no cookie cutter, picture perfect relationship. There's no picture perfect man. So accepting that he won't change will set you free. It will set you free from a lot of expectations, from a lot of future resentment, thinking that, and this is also for the right man, by the way, talking about all men, and I'm talking about you. I'm talking about working on yourself, getting better at realizing who you are, accepting your flaws and your features, accepting all the beauty that God has given you, and in all its boundaries, in all his wisdom and his understanding, what he has bestowed on you to impact the world with. Accepting all of that and knowing that he won't change, and neither will I. I will make adjustments. I'll make progress. I'm definitely going to work on my weaknesses. I'm also going to build my strengths. But at the core of who he is, he's the same. He's a human being. So what you're looking at, sis, better choose what you're looking at and think, can I live with this for the rest of my life? Can I be committed to this man 40, 50 years? Can I look at my kids and see the same traits and I'll be okay with it? Do I have peace in my spirit? Is this the kind of person that I want to raise my home with? Is this the kind of person I want to build a legacy with? He won't change. He won't change his habits. He won't change his actions. He will grow, but he won't change. Okay, now when I say he will grow, what I mean by this is, again, let's be careful. Potential progress. Be careful of what expectations you have of that man. Be careful of what expectations you have of that relationship. Oh, by the way, wife-in-waiting sisters, if you're around, please come with your fire comments. Because I've seen some wife-in-waiting sisters, and I told you I'm unburdening. I just have so much to say, and I just want to make sure that I help as many of you as I can. Like I said, it's very important to accept the reality of the situation. If you need help, go and get the help. It doesn't have to be from me, but you better go and get that help. Whoever God is laying on your heart, wherever God is leading you, if it's $10, the prayer journals are $10 on a normal day. If it's $10 that is keeping you from 10 years of regrets, you really need to think about your life. because you need to make sure that you are not holding yourself back, okay? Because I'm tired of that excuse that I see, and this is a whole other tangent I'm going on. That's why I tagged this segment, The Truth with Tolu, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. Like, you stop holding yourself back. To get to the next level, you need to invest. That's another truth some of you don't want to accept. And I understand that because I've been there before. But let me tell you, investing in myself changed my life. It changed my life. Investing in myself in the sense of spending more time with God, growing my relationship with God, because that's extremely important. Looking at people that investing in my fitness, investing in my self-development. I invest in myself because there's power in investing in yourself. Let me tell you the truth. So if it's just, I don't know whether it's the wife in waiting community is $14 a month. If it's just $14 that is keeping you from 14 months, 14 years of regret, you really need to reassess your priorities. If it's just investing in a course that would change your business, that would change the path you are on, you are the one holding yourself back. I'm going to tell you the truth. You need to help yourself and fix that mindset of scarcity, because a lot of Christians deal with that mindset of scarcity. Let me tell you something. God did not call us to be scarce. God called us to be impactful. He said, be fruitful and multiply. Multiplication needs investment. It needs you to invest. It needs you to see a return on that investment. It needs you to be dedicated. It needs you to be focused. If you're not doing any of that, don't go and start crying to God that, oh Lord, please change my situation. He has given you the tools. You are not using it. You are not investing. Go and read the man with the bag of talents. You are not investing in the situation he has given you. You are not investing to change your mindset. You are not investing to change the direction you are going to. And you think prayer and fasting is all that you need. You think really prayer and fasting is just going to shift everything. That's what you think. You think you don't know you need to actually carry what you see in the spirit and manifest it into your physical reality. That's what you need. That's the truth. So back to what I was saying about this man. I'm going on many tangents here because there's a lot on my heart that I have seen Christian women and men, but I deal mostly with women, do that. I can see that it's holding you back. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you holding yourself back. It is very frustrating because I'm trying to help you and you are holding yourself back. You are saying, no, let me give it another try. No, let me try the same process that has left me in this position for 5 years, for 5 months, even 5 minutes is too long because nobody is promised tomorrow. And you are saying, no, let me try again. What are you trying again at exactly? What exactly are you, what are you doing different that will produce a different result? Really and truly. You need to take a hard look in the mirror and stop holding yourself back. Look for the assistance you need. Get the support you need. Change your mindset. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Romans 12 verse 2. There's a lot in your mind that is holding you back. The enemy has told you so many lies about yourself. He has also told you lies about your resources. He's told you, no, that thing is too much. Don't invest in it. No, just stay where you are. Don't worry. He will change. Don't worry. That man will treat you differently. He's lying to you. The enemy comes as an angel of light, if you don't know. He's lying to you. That's not the Lord speaking. That's the devil. Because you're not telling yourself the truth. You're not, and the word even says, don't be lukewarm. You need to choose a side. What future do you want for yourself? What future do you want for your family? Like I shared earlier in the year about how I left a toxic relationship and how at the time it was my brother that was my strength, that helped me, because my brother and I, if you followed me long enough, you know I talk about my brother all the time, because truly through his life I learned so many things. And I shared about how I looked at my strength wasn't enough. I needed to look at what was stronger than me, and for me that has always been family. What is it for you? If you know that man is not going to change, what exactly are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep attaching scripture to a dead situation? Are you going to keep begging him to change? Are you going to keep repeating that cycle? Are you going to keep staying in that heartbreak? We're in 2020, we're in a new decade. Are you going to spend the next 5 years in this new decade begging him to shift? Because that won't work. You need to change. You need to grow. Like I said, at the core, we have been given certain qualities, features, flaws, qualities to help us, qualities that hinder us, qualities that will require us to lean on the Lord and trust in the Lord and lean not on our own understanding. But I'll tell you this, he won't change his mind. You see that pattern of cheating? If you like, marry him, it will just escalate. You see that pattern of abuse? Marry him, it will escalate. You see that pattern of depending on you for financial resources? It will escalate. It's not going to change. So just choose your cross very carefully, because whoever you marry, he's not a perfect man, but you do want to make sure that whatever cross you're currently carrying in that relationship is one you can carry for the rest of your life. If you want to tie yourself, you want to yoke yourself with that particular person, just make sure that you are doing what you know will favor you. Now, somebody has asked me about, what's the wife in waiting platform? Okay, the wife in waiting sisterhood is we're on WhatsApp for now. They came through earlier with their emojis of fire. Wife in waiting sisters are in the house. They've come again with their fire emojis. So basically, it's a platform where we meet every day. I mentor the ladies on helping them make sure that they are holy women. That is, we're not just so focused about marriage. Right now, we're dealing with what you can learn from past relationships. It's iron sharpens iron. That's our watchword, Proverbs 27:17. It's a community of sisters. We support each other. We actually have events every single month. Right now, we have we have accountability teams in the wife in waiting community. Every sister has an accountability partner. Their check-in time is actually today, every week. We talk every day. The ladies share their hearts. We're sisters, really. We know each other by name. We meet every single day. We have guest speakers. It's a powerful platform, and it's literally just $14 to join. Every month, recurrently. 14, that's 5,000 naira, 5,100 naira a month to be precise, to remain a member in the community. Now, our community is closed, but if you want to join, if you click the link in the bio, it will lead you to where you can apply, so that when we open, you'll be the first to know. We're opening on the 1st of September. You'll be the first to know when we open. Now, another reason your relationships always end in heartbreak and regret is you are always begging. You're begging to stay in the relationship. You're begging for God to make him stay in the relationship. You've taken a posture of passivity. What's the right word? You've taken a posture of being very passive. You're very passive about who you are with, what options you have, what you're going to do about those options. You're just so afraid. You're afraid to be active. What I mean by active is taking a stance. You're afraid to say, this is actually not okay. Even if you say this is not okay, it's like it has taken all the energy, all the confidence out of you to say it. And if he begs you, you shift. You say, okay, no, we'll give it another try. Meanwhile, he's going to do it again in another 2 weeks, or maybe in another 2 minutes. Who knows? Depending on how much the disrespect has dropped. That's because you have not seen. Men are very logical. Women are emotional, right? Now, for each of us, it's a strength. But when a guy sees that this girl is not going anywhere, guess what he's going to do? Anything he wants. Okay? And I'm not saying, and I'm not, reinforcing the rhetoric of let us be women that are possessive in the sense of trying to control our men. No, I don't support that rhetoric at all. Marriage is a partnership. Relationships are a partnership. So for a partnership to work, there has to be mutual respect. There has to be mutual trust. I shouldn't be begging you for that trust. I shouldn't be begging you for that respect. I shouldn't be begging you for support. I shouldn't be begging you to communicate with me. I shouldn't be begging you to make me a priority. And these are some of the mistakes a lot of women make. Oh, he's done it again. I don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? What exactly don't you know? You know he's cheating. You know he's lying. You know that he's disrespecting you. You know that he has a baby man. You know he has a side chick, or how many they are, you don't even know. So what don't you know? The problem is you don't want to do what needs to be done. You need to step out of that situation, and to make sure you don't return into it, you need to shift. You need to change. You need to stop. You need to take an active role in your relationship. Stop saying, I don't know why this is always happening to me. It is always happening to you because you keep allowing it to happen. You keep allowing them to take advantage of you. You haven't put your foot down. You haven't changed your rhythm. You have refused to engage with the situation. That's why this keeps happening to you. Because you are begging him. If you're not begging him to stay in the relationship, you are begging him not to leave you. If you're not begging him not to leave you, you are begging him to give both of you a second chance. If you're not begging him to give both of you a second chance, you are begging him to choose you over her. You're always begging, instead of changing the tone of the conversation to listen. This is not actually okay. For this to work, there needs to be partnership, because guess what? You are literally on the same spot. Some of you have looked at your relationships with different men and everything is the same, because you haven't moved and you are the common denominator. You are the reason why you are on the same spot. You are the reason why the men keep disrespecting you. You are the reason why they keep taking advantage of you, because you haven't changed the way you have approached that situation. Okay? That's another reason why your relationships always end in heartbreak and regret every single time. Another reason is, let me tell you the truth. If you can't be single, you won't know how to handle a relationship. You just won't know what to do with one, because you will expect too much. And I understand, because I've done it before. I've been there before. But how did I get to where I am? I changed. I shifted. I put my foot down, and that's when things started shifting for me. And what I want you to understand is, you need to be able to be comfortable with being single. To take the spiritual angle to this, let's drop the physical angle of you don't like being by yourself, you don't like the idea of going out by yourself. Let's drop the emotional angle of you are afraid of facing your emotions, you're afraid of feeling bored because you are so boring. This is me being sarcastic, by the way. You are so boring, you're not somebody that enjoys your company. The thought of even being by yourself is so scary, because you're such a boring person to be around. I'm being sarcastic because I want you to get the point, because that's actually that's the conversation that is going on in your head. Now let's take the spiritual angle. If you can't be by yourself, right? If you can't understand what it means to be single, you won't really get the purpose of being in a relationship. And that's part of the reason why your relationships always end in regrets. Oh, I saw the signs, but I went in anyway, because you're afraid to be alone. Oh, I saw the signs, but I kept on going with him because he asked me for a second chance, and I was too afraid to be single rather than be in a relationship that has held me back for years. I was just too scared. I just can't be by myself. I just can't bear the thought of being alone. That's the problem. Because you don't know what it means to be single. And let me tell you, there's power in your singleness. There's purpose in your singleness. There's a lot of purpose. There's a whole lot of purpose in your singleness. And do you know what happens when you step into that purpose in your singleness? It puts you on the path to being found by the right partner, the right man, the right person that can support you, that can help you birth your purpose, that you can support. Because a lot of you are dealing with a situation where you don't know who you are meant to be in a relationship, because you just don't know who you are as a single person. Who are you? What do you stand for? What don't you stand for? What do you support? What don't you support? You can't answer these questions because so much of yourself has been invested in someone else, and that's a problem. You see, that's another reason why you find it difficult to leave relationships that are not productive, that always end in heartbreak, because you have emotionally invested so much into a dead-end situation that you feel like you are owed a return, even though it was a bad investment. You feel like somehow, no, I spent so much time, I spent so much money, I spent so much of my resources on this person, he needs to give it back to me. He doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe you a single thing. But you owe yourself a lot. You owe yourself an explanation. And some of you can't deal with that reality, so guess what you do? You jump into the next relationship around the corner. You rebound. you find yourself in a cycle. You're always talking to men, you're always flirting with men. Now, there's nothing wrong with talking with men or flirting with men, by the way, but there is something wrong with your approach to it. If you are doing it because you're trying to get over the last one, it's going to be a problem. If you're flirting because you want him to give you attention and you don't know why you need that attention or what exactly that attention represents for you, it's going to be a problem, and it will always end in regret and heartbreak. And I'm sure some of you have experienced this. I'm sure everything I'm saying here is not new to you, but it is a fresh perspective for you to understand why exactly you are still in the same position, why you are still occupying the same spot. Another reason why all your relationships end in heartbreak and regret every single time is because you haven't really invested in what truly matters, which is firstly knowing God. Okay, let me tell you, knowing God is a game changer. I can truly and surely testify. Knowing God is a game changer. Forget that rhetoric you see in church of, the boring aspect of Christianity. You must not wear makeup, you must not do hair. I'm a Christian. You see me, I wear makeup, I do my hair, I like to dress up. I'm a Christian. I walk with God. I spend time with the Lord. And I do all these things because it doesn't take away from my relationship with him. Some of you have been fed a rhetoric of being a Christian is going to be boring. Being a Christian is going to somehow dim you down, make you boring to, I don't know, whether it's the opposite sex or your friends or whatever. Let me tell you the truth. I haven't been so alive as I have become since I have given my life truly to Christ. A lot of who I am today, I don't think I would have ever known her. I don't think I would have ever discovered her without God. And that's because I decided to know him for myself. Who he introduced, it's like any friendship in your life. No two relationships are the same. The relationship your mother has with you is different from the one she has with your sibling. The relationship your friend has with you is different from the one she has with her other friend. The relationship you have between two of your closest friends, no matter how close they are, is very different. It's the same with a relationship with God. Don't put him in a box. That's very dangerous. Pray that, God, I invite you into my life. I invite you to show me who you are to me. My experience with him is not the same as yours, but he's the same Father. If you just allow that relationship to enter your life, it will shed so much light on who you are. You'll be completely amazed. You'll be completely amazed by what he will do with you, how he will use you, the truths he will tell you. The word says, call unto me and I will show you great and unsearchable things you do not know. That's Jeremiah 33:3. Everything I learn, everything I teach, God has taught me. Everything I share with you, the Lord has brought it to my revelation. Without him, it would probably have taken me a lot longer to figure it out. I would probably have still been stuck in one toxic relationship or the other. I'll probably be still confused about my identity. But when I chose him, everything else came into alignment. And that's why I want you to understand that the reason your relationships end in heartbreak and regret is because you have not allowed God to come into those situations. You haven't listened to the truth he's trying to tell you. You haven't allowed him to be real with you. You haven't accepted what he's trying to tell you about that man, about having sex outside marriage. You haven't. Now listen, about sex, let's talk about that for a second. You need a personal revelation on what that can do to you. Forget what your pastor has told you, your family members have told you. You need your own truth as to why sex should wait till after marriage. It should definitely wait till after marriage. You definitely don't want any spiritually transmitted demons or sexually transmitted diseases. You don't want to expose yourself emotionally to a man because you've exposed your body physically, and so you have exposed yourself spiritually, because whenever you have sex, it leads to soul ties. That's a whole other battle. So you need your own revelation. I've received my revelation, and the only way you can receive your revelation is through your relationship with God. Okay, when you start having a relationship with God, God knows how to deal with your heart. Let me tell you that, because there was a time in my life, truly and honestly, I thought, what's the big deal about sex? I don't understand the big deal about it. But let me tell you another truth. When I came to God and he opened my eyes, nobody needed to tell me anything. I understood because he knew how to reach me the same way he knows how to reach you. So I need you to be able to understand that. That's another reason your relationships end in heartbreak and regret every single time. And I also want you to understand. Now, in fact, in Wife in Waiting this month, we're talking about past experiences with exes, because A lot of you approach your relationships with your exes with regret, resentment, but it's important that you understand that whatever relationship you had with your ex, whatever role they played in your life, has a role to play in who you have become. Now, how you choose to apply that role will really determine what you make of the situation. Yes, that relationship didn't work out, but what did you learn from it? How can you use it to make you better? How can you use it to make you grow? How can you use it to make sure it doesn't repeat itself with the next man that comes through your door, with the next relationship you find yourself in? How can you use it to make sure that you do not repeat the same mistakes? That's what you do with exes. You don't entertain them, you don't talk to them because maybe we're meant to be, because the honest truth is you're just bored. You don't talk to them maybe because, oh, I want to see if he's still attracted to me, I want to see if I still have a hold on him. Who has time for those games, really? Who really has time for those games? Where you're going, there's no room for that. There's no room for that. Everything should serve a purpose. So the only time you should be looking in the direction of, oh, my past relationship, and that's what we're doing this month on Wife in Waiting. I'm sharing a lot of tips with the sisters, with my sisters rather, on what it means to be able to look at your past relationship without being hurt, without feeling somehow cheated, because a lot of women are dealing with feeling cheated in past relationships, and you carry that resentment into your next relationship. And before he's even done anything, you are treating him like your ex. Maybe your ex cheated on you. The next man that comes into your life, you are thinking he's cheating on you. Maybe your ex was abusive towards you. The next man that comes into your life, you're afraid to be honest with him because you're afraid he's going to abuse you, because that's how we started the last time. And the reason for that is you haven't healed. You are still hurt. You are still limping in your pain. And that's why you are not able to fully manifest in that relationship in a positive way. So even if he's a good man, even if he's the right man, or let me be careful with that, because the right man for you will come at the right time. Now, you may meet him at the wrong time, but he will always come at the right time. Okay, there's a whole lot there, no time, but I just want to make sure I'm very clear in everything I'm saying here. My point being that you don't want to use your past relationships as some sort of medal of regret. Oh, woe is me, this is what my ex did to me, this is what's happened to me. So we all have a history, sis. It's time to stop carrying that cross. Get yourself healed, get yourself whole, get yourself in a community, get yourself in a sisterhood, get yourself to have someone that keeps you accountable. Expose your heart to God, tell him, and he will heal you, right? And he will put you in a community, he will put you in a sisterhood like we have in Wife in Waiting. He will introduce you to someone, a mentor that will be able to help you. But you need that assistance. Some of you just won't tell yourself that truth, but that's the truth that is actually holding you back. I can only imagine how frustrating it must be sometimes when you're asking God, please help me, and he's just like, but I told you what to do. I told you what to do. Why won't you do it? I just imagine the amount of times he says that. So I'm just being his mouthpiece for this particular live session to tell you, get the help. Get the help. Get the assistance. There's nothing wrong with being weak. That is where you find your strength, if anything. Right? That is where your strength is. Another truth I want to tell you that about why your relationships always end in heartbreak and regret every single time is you need to choose yourself over and over again until you know what it means to be chosen. Does that make sense? You need to choose yourself over and over and over again until you know what it means to be chosen and why it is so important that you are chosen. Because being chosen isn't being weighed on a scale of by some man of, oh, who has more benefits and who has more features, or who gives me more time and who gives me less time, or who can put up with my excesses and who cannot put up with my excesses. That's not what being chosen means. And until you know what it means to choose yourself, to choose a situation that is best suited for you, you will not know how it looks like to be truly chosen, because you won't understand the value you carry. You won't understand the power you're bringing to the partnership. You won't understand the dynamics you're bringing to that relationship. You won't understand the value you're bringing to the table, because you don't know what it means to choose yourself. You've always allowed yourself to be chosen, and there's a difference between choosing yourself and being chosen, and knowing and knowing what it means to be chosen. Let me rephrase that, because I really want you to get this. When you've been in situations, I'm going to use relationships because obviously we're talking about relationships, but obviously this plays out in so many scenarios. When you've been in a relationship where you've been abused, you've been taken for granted, you've been disrespected, whatever rhetoric, whatever history you have with relationships, and I guarantee there's a pattern. I've done this for so long, so I know that there's always a pattern. You can start by looking at the pattern, because that is where you haven't chosen yourself. That is where you've chosen how they have decided to define you. That is where you need work. That is where you need help. That is where you need assistance. That is where you need to start choosing yourself. You need to start choosing yourself where maybe you've noticed a pattern of being the side chick without even knowing. Or you've noticed a pattern of being abused without even knowing. Or you've noticed a pattern of being taken for granted without even knowing. That is where you need to choose yourself. Because when you start choosing yourself there, it will change the way you understand being chosen. It will give you a level of confidence and self-respect that will help you to know, this is what it looks like to be chosen, because I've chosen myself. So I know what it feels like, I know what it looks like, I know why it's important. So that, and you need to understand the value in that, so you know when it's missing, the value of it not being present. You need to truly understand what it means for a man to stand up and shout at you and disrespect you and cheat on you. You need to, I don't feel like a lot of you are getting what that truly means, because you don't know what it means to choose yourself. You need to understand what that means before you know the value of it in a relationship. By choosing yourself. That's where it starts from. That's the first step. And that would stop the heartbreak. It will start the process of healing, start the process of making you whole. Now, obviously, like I said, wife in waiting will open. I just keep re-emphasizing this because I'm seeing wife in waiting sisters. Hello, come through with the fire. Come through the fire, sisters. Let them know you're around. Wife in waiting is opening next week. Next week it's opening on the 1st of September, and we're going to open our membership again. But even if it just means, just getting yourself in a circle, even if it's not the wife in waiting membership, sis, just get some help, get some assistance, get some support. Stop lying to yourself. And I always tell the ladies I counsel, the ladies I mentor, I always say this: don't lie to yourself. You have to start by telling yourself the truth. That's where you need to start. You need to start with telling yourself the truth. And you need to learn to lead with your value. Let me tell you something. It changes the whole equation. It changes everything. When you lead with your value, men will understand that you know what you're worth. They will you don't need to tell them. They will get it. It will be very clearly communicated, because you are leading with your value. When think about your most prized possession. Do you carry it the same way you carry something that you don't even value? Do you treat it the same way? Do you approach it the same way? Do you talk about it the same way? No. Did you have to vocalize to someone, this is important to me? No, but when they abused it, the way you reacted showed them that she's not playing with this one. Or the way you carry it, the way you speak about it, the way you walk with it. It's the same way when you lead with your value. When you lead with your value, a lot of people will be threatened. Let's look at the other side of it. Some women will be threatened by you because I don't know the spirit of comparison that women are dealing with, where some women are threatened by a woman that is confident instead of being equally inspired by her or learning from her. A lot of women are threatened by confident women, but that's a whole other conversation. When you lead with your value, people will be threatened. They'll be threatened because guess what? You are doing something they don't have the courage to do. You are saying something they don't have the courage to say. You are standing up where they don't have the courage to even sit. You are moving where they don't have the courage to go. That's why they are threatened. And men respect that. Because like I said, men are very logical. For a man in any, and I teach this in, sorry, my back is hurting. And I teach this in mistakes the biggest mistakes you've made with men. Now, if you sign up for that course, you will be getting it on the 30th. Like I said, I'm really pouring a lot into that course because there's just so much to say. And the usual route is counseling, but I wanted to make sure that I shared as much as possible with the ladies in that course. Now, the truth is, when you lead with your value, he will respect you. That respect may mean the relationship will break up, but guess what? He respects you more after the breakup than when you were inside. He will even miss you more after the breakup than when you were inside. Because guess what? You've spoken a language that he understands. This girl is not playing. She's not playing with her value. She's not playing with her time. She's not playing with her respect. She's not playing with the way she carries herself. That has substance. That carries worth. All this, oh, please, forgive me. That's nothing. You're not speaking a language that he understands because you are constantly shifting the dial, moving the dial in his favor instead of your own. When you meet the right person, they will respect and treat you with respect. They will value and treat you with value. They will, but you first need to know how that looks like for yourself. You need to know how that looks like for yourself for that to happen. And you need to grow to attract the man you desire. I'm going to have to leave in literally like 3 minutes. You need to grow to attract the man you desire. And you need help to do that. Now, there's this rhetoric. Before I leave, let me say this. Counseling. When people hear counseling, they think, oh, it means I'm a train wreck. No. Let me tell you, the topmost people in the world have therapists. They have coaches. If you look at any whatever they call them, whether it's spiritual mentors, they have coaches. Some of you even are in counseling and you don't know it because you've just changed the name. Counseling is something everybody should take advantage of. You need someone to talk to. You are not strong enough to carry you to put everything together without leaning on someone for support. That's what I do with clients in counseling. Counseling does not mean you're a train wreck. It means that you have, and I always tell this to every woman, every couple I have counseled. At the start of the counseling, I'm like, I'm proud of you because you have made a decision that you cannot go any further without help. And that takes a lot of courage that a lot of people don't have. You have taken the step to say, I need your support to move in the right direction. And I'm proud of you for making that decision because guess what? It's going to change your life. It's going to open your mindset. I work with coaches. When I say I work with coaches, I mean coaches have mentored me. Coaches, I lean on, I have people that come to that. I invest in coaches. I have spiritual mentors as well. There's just not enough time for me to say everything I want to say. But this is the truth. So go and invest in counseling. Go and invest in wife in waiting. Go and get yourself a prayer journal. Do something to change where you are at. Do something, sis. It's enough. Aren't you tired? Me, I'm tired. I'm the one I'm not even in this situation. But I see it so much. And it's so painful because I care so much. I really do. I care so much about where you are at. And I really want you to meet who you are called to be. And I know you're holding yourself back. It's enough. Invest. Please. And take this and share this with a friend. I'm going now. I have to go. I have to go. Yeah. I'm going now. I couldn't join from the beginning. Awesome. I'm going to do my best to save this video. The prayer journals are on sale till tomorrow. Click the link in bio. Send me a DM if you need help. Go and join Wife in Waiting. It's a sisterhood that we have. It's opening again on the 1st of September. Send me a DM if you want that. I'll send you a link or click the link in bio. If you're ready to invest in my counseling services are not free. If you're ready to invest in that, send me a DM as well. Okay, sisters. Bye. Wife in Waiting sisters. See you in exactly an hour. That's 8 p.m.